stream.
Nice. Wade got on the intro game. I like it.
He's working on it. He's working on it.
Right? It's fun,
What's
right?
the dog's name?
Man.
My dog's name's Diesel.
Diesel.
Diesel is a COVID puppy.
He's getting a lot of airtime, man.
Diesel gets a lot of airtime. That's my little buddy. You don't even understand. That little guy goes everywhere I go. Look, when I start putting my coat on, it's the first dog that I've ever had that runs to the door and sits there. He knows that I'm leaving. He's like, whoa, no, we're going
Whoa,
yeah.
where are we going?
Yeah, where are we going?
Nice. Ooh, look at you
nice.
pulling the product.
A little bit.
That
He's
thing
just
is
showing
nice.
off right now. Is that how we're gonna roll? We want to start the show showing off stuff.
I don't have anything.
I'm not going to do that right now because
Somebody's winning that next week, so
that's freaking awesome.
Throwing my name in the hat
Awesome.
a couple times.
I'm freezing, man. I got my hood on. I got a blanket up on here. I am freezing up
Don't
in this
feel
room.
bad. I got a heater right
my
under my-
goodness. Dude, you got a heater right where your feet are.
heater.
I'm about to jump on some of that, but with my luck, I'll blow the circuit, and just
Man, all you cold people, it's only 72 over here.
Oh, geez. I swear if I could
man.
hit you with something, man.
So let's be rough.
see, I put Wayne 1 in the basement. It's pretty cold where I'm at right now. I mean, it is pretty cold, but I'm with you. I'd put a heater down here, but I'm afraid I'd blow something. So I'm not that dangerous right now. But I'm running out of room. Don't tell them away.
Jeez, you got
I'm running out of room, so now the whole table beside me is just full of pops. It looks horrible. It looks horrible.
Very cool.
It looks horrible. What is going on? This was a really interesting show, man. I think this is probably my favorite one that they've made so far.
It was good. It was really good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It's good.
The jumping around, there's a lot of good things. I mean, there's still not as many, like, in my eyes, there are many Easter eggs as there has been, but they're explaining it a little bit more. Some things that there's one thing that's bothering me about it, though, that I'm still trying to figure out. There's actually technically two things, but we'll get to that point when we get to that point.
Well, I think I have the answer to what you're saying, though. I think that they had to dummy it down for people like me. I mean, look, take that any way you want, but I think that they put the Easter eggs and some of the like Marvel Universe extremely nerd stuff in for the avid people like JKL, you, and JB that know everything about Marvel. But then they made it dumb enough for people like me coming in that I could get right into it with y'all, right? I mean, that I could like jump right into the interest level, but they still threw a little bit of Easter eggs out there for y'all. That's what I think's going on there. But look, I could be completely wrong, and I could be swinging for the fences and know nothing. But I do know what this one was based after, or at least I think I do. I think I know what this one was based after.
What was it?
It was you missed Family Ties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Family Ties.
Yeah,
Family Ties. Yeah.
Full House.
Definitely. Full House. Full House. Full House.
And,
Family Ties.
So, well, the theme song, the opener, was completely Family Ties.
Yep.
Yeah.
Family Ties.
The wording, the picture, everything. And I had some of my friends that just started texting me because they know I do a lot of stuff with the show, and they're like, "Hey, was that Growing Pains?" I was like, "Nah, dude, that was Family Ties." I was like, "Go back and watch one of the old intros to Family Ties. They have the painting they start out with, and then they show like the pictures of the family."
Well,
I didn't even set anything up this time. Are we already into the episode? Are we starting up already?
we're easing into it. We're easing into it. So if you would have watched all of the credits, because y'all have got me watching the credits for that 8 minutes of dumb credits that they put in there, thinking that they might throw something in there like they did the Mandalorian. But in those 8 minutes of dumb credits, like the last 2 minutes was the music of the Family Ties without the words. So it was just the music behind it without the words. And I said, "Yep, that's definitely Family Ties." That sealed it for me. I mean, it was pretty cool. I liked it. I thought I was smart for a second, but now y'all all knew it, so I'm not that smart.
Well, don't feel bad. It's not meant to be like obscure like television shows. These were popular shows back then. So it's like, listen, this is the show that we're parodying, quote unquote, this week. So, they're throwing it out there. Well, the older ones were a little harder because although most of us are older, we're not in that age range where we know that stuff off the top of our head. But this stuff coming up now, we should all get it now.
All right, so let me ask everybody a question. They're going to come out with 8 episodes. We have this one that's in the 80s. We're going to have the 90s. We're going to have the 2000s. Does that mean we're ending in 2020?
Possibly, yes. Or
How many
remember,
episodes are there supposed to be?
8.
There's
8 of them.
No, there's 9.
There's 9?
9.
It's 8 weeks, but it was 9 episodes.
Okay.
Remember, they dropped 2 episodes.
Right. There you go. Yeah. So it's still going to end in 2020.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't think the last episode is going to be in a TV show because everyone has said like the last 2 or 3 episodes are more action packed. So maybe the 8th episode will be like the 2010s, and then the 9th episode.
I guess I didn't think about that.
Like real life, like them actually battling out or whatever.
Well, I jumped over 2010 altogether, so it'll end in 2010, not in 2020. Yeah. Right. So. Does that mean that that's it? Does that mean that that's where WandaVision is stopping? Is this the only like?
It's got to catch up to the newer because again, this is supposed to trail right into, then we're supposed to go into Falcon Winter Soldier. I think within a week or so after this one ends.
Right.
So is this going to be the only WandaVision?
Possibly yes.
I think so too. I'm glad y'all said that because I'm thinking that this is it. That after this one, we're not going to get another WandaVision, that they're going to tie. Oh, JV, you need to stop that nonsense. I appreciate it, though.
I just wanted to make sure it was working, man.
But you need to stop.
I just wanted to make sure it was working.
Look, look how I'm tricking the sounds here. Let me find my little sound effects.
Get the sound effects boosted up, man.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. So I'm glad that y'all think the same way. I think that it's going to end at that one too. And look, the gold poop. Look, if there's going to be poop on this channel, it might as well be gold poop. That's just the way I look at it. Might as well be gold poop.
Oh boy, you want some poop?
Have fun with it. Come on, man.
My house last night and this morning.
Speaking of that,
this afternoon.
Speaking of that, let's get way off topic because y'all got through 6 and 5 burgers yesterday. How are the repercussions of that?
Yeah. How's that? How you guys feeling after the burger challenge?
I did the fatal mistake. In fact, I said what was going to happen on the live. I started out after we got done the live. We have a little chair up here. So I sat in the chair, was watching TV. The family came home, and I was just getting uncomfortable in the chair, so I laid down on the floor. And of course, my little 3-year-old comes right over and just
you knew it was gonna happen.
I'm like, oh man,
you knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. But it was funny nonetheless. But
did you get the meat sweats?
I didn't know. No, I literally, if you watch that live again, there was probably 2 times that I had to put my hand over my mouth and close my eyes because I was probably 2 seconds away from throwing up on camera.
That's how I look at the jelly bean.
Were you prepared to throw up? Did you have a bucket?
I did have a bucket.
Yeah, I had
just
a bucket.
Just in case you're like, oh man, I don't know.
If I tried to go for that 6th burger, I would have definitely thrown up.
The stomach starts going all bubble guts on you.
Yeah, that's what happened. My stomach was just like a rock, and my stomach was not having it.
See, no.
I've been in the 6th burger.
The stomach's like, no, don't even let it down.
Yeah. Exactly.
No. As a matter of fact, all you guys, if you don't stop, all you guys are out of here.
I'm kicking all of you out.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
I pretty much just want to curl up in a ball in the corner and just be left there.
Oh man!
And then I went to bed. I don't know how many hours later, but I woke up, ran into the bathroom. And I got some brilliant sounds for you, but I'm not going to play them. I was like, let me record this. So, we love recording stuff, but I'm not releasing that audio.
See, look,
it wasn't good.
That's why I'm not doing that with y'all. Look, those jelly beans, when I had my trash can, and you know how you can you start to burp and you know that it's any second.
It's coming.
That's
Here we
I'm
go.
not doing any more of those kind of challenges. No. Just do a quick chat, guys.
And I've been drinking
soap
all
do a
day.
grill or double cheeseburger mystery box.
Do a grill or double cheeseburger mystery box. What's that mean?
I don't know.
Yesy Lou, how are you doing, brother? Andy Roberts, good to see you. Scooby is a new one. Have we seen
Did we get Jesse Lou in the house?
Scooby, how you doing?
What's up, Scooby? Did we get Jesse Lou to 300 last night? Did anyone find out?
I don't know.
Is it?
There was 2 people. There was 2 people. There was Jesse Lou and there was Chase. They were right on the border of.
Right. We did call them out. Hold on. Let me see.
Kenneth Bird, how are you doing, bud? JB, what is up?
I'm
good
in
to see you
chat,
in the chat,
man.
Mr. Tech Bot.
Jesse Lou is at 292.
292. We got to see how to get it. We're gonna get him up somehow.
Yes, we gotta pump
We're
up.
gonna
Gotta
get
get
Yes
him
Lou
up
up.
there, man. What is up?
Yes, he Lou.
All right, are we guys ready to start this thing?
We're
Let's
ready
go.
to start it. Let's start it.
All right.
Sure.
I don't want to narrate. I'm gonna go. As a matter of fact, I don't even have any good pictures
What do
loaded
you
up.
mean?
I didn't have time, man.
You're slacking, JB.
I am slack, but you know what? I did check this. Peep this if this works. Tell me if this is actually working. What I did was I went over to the Instagrams, over to the Disney Plus Instagrams, and then since I got the OBS, I'm going to share it, and I crop that thing down. So can you see that? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
See
cool.
that.
Let's see.
Nice.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
It looks pretty good.
But this is just what's available on the Disney Plus site. So I want to actually see what else. Can we see if the video play? Will it play? Is it
Ooh,
playing?
Gotta be scary with
No,
that.
they have that new thing where you can share videos. Just like
Is that
you-
playing?
Stream mode. No, it's not. Okay, it's playing. Now it stopped.
That's interesting.
It's the
Hmm.
OBS.
Yes, the OBS doesn't like it's not happy about
Yeah, it's
that.
playing now.
Okay, well, let's see if it plays out.
No sound.
No sound. No, there was no sound.
Okay, good.
Didn't put any sound in there.
You don't want to play the sound of
Yeah. No,
All right.
that's-
Well, okay, we got a few images. We can work with this, right? We
That's
can
how you
work
get
with this.
monetized, really, or
Demonetized,
really.
I don't even know if
No
this
sound.
video
No sound. No
is
sound.
even
no sound.
being monetized right now. I haven't quite figured out how to make my lives monetized.
No, but honestly, man, they can have the 1.5 cents off.
Yeah,
of
that's
monetization.
exactly what it is. Too. Look, I'm going to tell y'all what's funny real quick. We all think that that's a joke. That is not a joke. I swear that you're
It's
probably
not.
getting 1/10 of a penny. Maybe not even that.
Yeah.
It is insane.
Yeah, you need
All
the
right.
watch hours, man. You need the.
So I
people
know
to
that
watch.
there's something before this, but this episode starts, with that intro and that painting, and there's a lot of storytelling there. I mean, the pictures of the baby Vision, that was kind of craziness, right?
This-
Well,
This
there,
one-
Yeah, that was funny.
there was a
I'm
part.
gonna take this thing off.
There's a slight part
Well,
about
yeah.
this. Of course, it starts out with them holding the twins, and she
Trying to get him to stop crying.
Tries to get him to stop crying.
Yep.
Tells Vision to go in the kitchen to go get the pacifiers. Where of course she's been wanting to do magic, just not around Vision, and so she tries to use her magic to get the babies to stop, but it won't work. It's kind of like the
Doesn't
stork
work.
type of situation. I think she's starting to realize that the twins have a different source of magic here, and her magic won't work on them, type thing, and maybe it's being blocked. I don't know. That part's kind of but there's
All right, so
something.
Let me pause you right there for the I need the dummy down version. Her twins died, right? In real life.
No,
No.
Are they alive or dead?
her twins lived on. It became and eventually became the Young Avengers or part
Okay,
of the Young Avengers.
Well, there's a history to the twins. The original set of twins were parts of Mephisto's soul.
Yeah.
So Mephisto came back and claimed them. So people thought, okay, they died. But they reappeared later on as part of the Young Avengers.
But
no
they
one
know-
knowing that they were the twins, her twins. They were older.
They didn't even know they were brothers. They
Yeah,
were
right.
they were both on the Young Avengers, and they didn't even know they were brothers
Right.
until one day I think the Super Skrull had stole Billy from and started telling him the story of them actually being brothers and stuff like that. Which I'd love to see the Super Skrull come, to
But-
the video, the movie somewhere.
So they are still alive.
Mhm.
Where we're at right now today.
Yeah,
Comics right now, I
Yeah,
believe.
comics are still
Right.
alive.
Got you.
Well, they're just called Wiccan and Speed.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we get into it, and then of course comes in, and this is just a continued theme throughout this episode of Agnes just continuing to be this like interruption. Every time when he came out, he just realized Agnes came in. He wasn't in his he was in his pink Vision look. So he kind of grabbed a pillow when she came in and said she said, "Oh, I heard somebody was having trouble with the babies," and he's like,
That's
"Who
what
told you that?" And she's like, "Well, my she's kind of taken back at first, and then my ears."
Right.
Didn't make any sense, but it was like, all right, whatever.
basically saying she could hear them from outside, but still.
It still didn't make any sense.
That don't mean
There's something about this though, because all of a sudden it came into a point where she wanted to hold the babies, and
Mhm.
Agnes wanted to hold the babies, and Vision's like, I don't think so. I don't think that's a good idea.
Right.
I just don't want to get in there. And then all of a sudden she turns like to Wanda, like, hey, should I take this from the top? Like, it is a TV show. So
Yes.
She broke character. She kind of
Yes.
and it all kind of stops there. It gets quiet and it gets
even
tense
babies
because
stop crying.
I don't know if you guys are doing this, but I watch it first and then I ask my wife to watch it where I'm watching her watch it to see if she picks, if she's picking up on, and she picked up on me and she's like, ooh, did you see that? Oh, wait a minute. What's going on? And it was so pronounced that she broke character and she asked the words, should we take it from the top?
Right.
Yep.
Well,
But Wanda's trying not to break character and she's like, and it gets tense there, man. I thought it was done really well.
And it becomes a continuous theme where, I still think that right now Marvel is wanting you to believe that Wanda is doing all this. But there is something that's said right at the end of this episode, which we'll get to that tells me that I think she understands and she knows that something happened. So that's why I think she has the ability to change what she wants. Like we've seen her do that throughout the whole episode. She doesn't like it, she changes it. I think she has that ability to do it where she's the one censoring it. And Agnes knows. Agnes is not in the trance. So Agnes knows that she has that ability to change it. And that's where this was coming from, was the fact that, wait, this isn't the humble, show that you thought. Wait, should we change this? Should we go back? And so that's where she was coming from with that. Like I said, I think Wanda knows something. Wanda knows she can control certain things. And Agnes we already can tell from this episode, Agnes knows everything that's going on.
That's like the second or third time, though, that we've seen Vision actually question what was going on, because he seems to not be on the same like trance everybody else is in.
Not anymore. Nope.
I mean, he pulls her aside and says, did you really not just see that? And she's like trying to play off, what do you mean? So he is really like, you could feel the tension there. He's this isn't right. This isn't right.
There was an important part there while they were sitting there, arguing kind of back and forth, and Vision's trying to explain this to her, and they keep popping back and forth to Agnes, and they pop back to her one time, and she's spraying like what looks to be perfume all over her. And she makes a point and says she's spraying what I think says her husband sprays it on her every night.
Right. It's lavender, she said.
With it. So it's lavender. And then all of a sudden they start talking again. And then she starts talking about that, she starts looking for the dark liquor. I had to rewind that a couple times. I thought she was just talking about liquor, but she said the dark liquor. And to me, it was almost like a distraction while the kids aged. And then all of a sudden they realize, hey, it's quiet. They look in the bassinets. The twins aren't there. Boom, they're 5 years old. And we find that out. We find out their age in the intro clip of the show.
Yeah.
That intro clip of the show doesn't happen until after they've aged. This is the opening before we get to that painting that changes colors and everything, which was cool.
But Agnes did say a big thing right after they found out the kids were there. She's sitting on the counter. She says, "Kids can't control them no matter how hard you try." Basically emphasizing that her magic is not going to work on these kids. These kids have different types of magic. And to me, I think that spray that she sprayed on them is what helped them age, to be honest with you.
I don't think so. But that's interesting concept.
But, I mean, why would you just be spraying it randomly? And who the hell sprays lavender over kids?
Lavender.
This is what my husband, mind you, we've never seen her husband. We've never seen her husband. We believe her husband to be Mephisto.
But the kids play this game again later on with the dog, and she wasn't there to spray anything on them.
Well,
when
she was
they looked at each other and went, 10? Okay. You're my dog.
Every time the kids go to grow themselves, Agnes is there. Every time they up in age, she's there.
Ooh, good point.
But the lavender thing, I don't know if people still do this, but you put lavender in your bath to ward off spirits. So you
let me
bathe
ask you a
yourself in
question.
lavender.
Do y'all think
by her spraying them in lavender? Yeah, I think they're real.
You do?
Well, the kids are
Kids
real.
are real.
The kids are 100%
Kids are
real.
real. Well, that's what comes up later on in that discussion, which I have a slide for.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. That was
Holly Roberts. Yeah, Lavender also relaxes people, so it helps.
But and I agree with you. I haven't heard of that before. But when she said her husband sprays it on her every night,
Right, help her go to sleep.
Okay, we believe her husband to be Mephisto. So her husband spraying this trance, whether it's a trance or whether it's disguising her, because that may not be what she looks like. Maybe
Agnes,
maybe it's something. I don't know.
Agnes is a witch, right?
Yes,
Agnes is a witch.
She probably believes that that's a formula. It's putting her in a sleep trance. I mean, you know how they get into stuff like that. I can see her just spraying it on her. I could see that.
So these kids age up. That was kind of crazy, right? They age up, and then I think it cuts to the painting,
intro. Yeah,
and it shows Wanda as a baby, as a child, as a teenager, as herself, and it shows Vision as a baby.
Which of course we know,
and he was never a baby. I mean, come on, he was born a human, basically. I mean, a full grown man.
That was funny as hell.
So that watching those were kind of cool. And then they showed each of the two boys and introduced them, with a few pictures of each of them. And then when it fades to dark, it doesn't come back to the show again. Now it comes back to Monica waking up, and she's getting an X-ray. That's an X-ray. We all get it. You put those things in your mouth; they come with that thing. Yeah. So they're X-raying her, and that's how she wakes up. And it to the narration of the director saying, "Well, we now have inside intel, from inside the anomaly."
Yeah.
So, am I missing anything at this point?
No. That's where we're caught up. Now, what she does say that they're talking to Monica, and the big thing I took away from that was that they're talking to Monica when they're in the doctors, and there's a couple of things here that to me were kind of stood out in there. Was she was trying to say that she felt a whole sense of hopelessness and grief. By being in there, by when she was in the bubble, that's all she could feel. She said it hurt, but she could feel just nonstop grief and hopelessness. Mind you, Monica is dealing with grief herself, and just after her mother died.
True,
exactly.
So she's, that's why I think she was perfect to get sucked into the bubble. There's another thing in there that said also the doctor was trying to run her blood, had a problem. There's something wrong with her blood.
Well, no, she came back with the results of the X-ray. And it was all whited out.
Right.
She's it didn't work, and I need another blood draw. And Monica's like, peace out. It ain't happening.
Right.
Not now.
I think that's from the bubble, because of course I think we all know that Monica becomes Hero Spectrum in time.
Photon.
And
First Photon, but yeah.
Yeah, but she becomes Hero Spectrum, where she gains powers. She gains powers, and she actually does become a superhero. And it's possible that she could have gotten these from the bubble, from being in the bubble, and she came out with also now there's some weird anomalies with this, and she's got this. So it's possible that they're trying to play off that she got her Hero Spectrum powers from the bubble.
Yep, possible. I want to see how they're going to make it make sense, but yeah, possible.
So I don't have a slide for it, but they end up having this big meeting where the director kind of reveals a real big reveal, right?
This is what's starting to bother me is the director. Director Hayward is really starting to bother me because he's not telling the truth. He's not telling the truth. He's not telling a whole lot of there's too many things that keep happening that's surrounding him. Whether he's not telling the truth, he's got something against Wanda. He's got I don't know what it is. But they do. They sit there, and I think, whether some people I've seen some people in some of the Reddit boards think that Hayward is actually Mephisto. I don't think that to be the case, but I think that he does have something. Monica does believe that Wanda is still good, but thinks that the force field. She thinks that the force field was put up to help kind of protect the bubble from spreading, just keeping it within the town.
Well, she quarantined the town, right? I mean, that's what she said. Quarantined herself. Quarantined herself.
She said this could have been much worse. She'd quarantined herself.
Right.
But I think the big reveal there was when he says, "Hey, I'm finally allowed to disclose this information as of this morning to an event that happened 9 days prior."
Yeah, exactly.
And that event was Wanda came and took Vision's body.
Yeah. She went and broke in a sword, and she went to go find Vision's body. Now, there's a couple things here that gets brought up, and even Jimmy brings this up too, where she gets to Vision, finds Vision's all in pieces, all over the place. They're basically dissecting. Now, again, what Jimmy brings up is this was against Vision's will because he did not want to be used as a weapon.
Right.
I don't think Jimmy brought that up. Jimmy brought up it was against the Accord. The director brought up it was against his will. It was against his wishes of his will.
Which I find is funny because that's being done under him. Now, what it doesn't show is all it shows is her. It sees her on camera going up to where Vision's pieces are, and then it cuts out. Here, I'm having a theory here that there's more to that tape. There's more to that tape than what we think, and I think that there's actually, if they're talking about this 9 days ago, and this all happened 9 days ago, I think she went to go get Vision because she didn't want anybody using Vision as a weapon, and when she went to go, what's not being shown is I believe that on the other side of that camera is when she meets Mephisto, and basically Mephisto helps her create this bubble world.
She makes a deal with the devil.
Basically, makes a deal with the devil to have her life the way she wanted it.
I can totally see that. The unseen scene there is she's grieving. He's in pieces, and keep in mind where is she rescuing this body from? A place it shouldn't be. The place that is weapons. Sentient weapon. I mean, they're going to analyze this guy and either turn him into a weapon or do something with him. She's like, ain't going to happen. And maybe as she's just sitting there mourning and crying, here's the opportunity. Hey, I can help you out. And Mephisto does the deal.
And Michael could be right. I think there's something with director Hayward. I mean, Hayward could be part of Hydra.
Hayward's a Skrull, bro. He's a Skrull. They're doing a secret invasion thing. Come on.
I don't think he's a Skrull, though. I don't think he's a Skrull. I think he's a member of Hydra. To be honest,
I don't think he's Hydra either. I honestly think he's just a dude who wants to keep his power. And he's trying to manipulate things.
I don't think he's necessarily trying to manipulate him. I think he's looking at it in a sinister view.
They're trying so hard for us to think he's something different. Because even when Darcy, when Jimmy and Darcy were on the side, and Jimmy was like, "Well, I don't like talking ill people like that." And she was like, "Oh, I'll say it. He's a dick," and they cut off the dick. And right when he says terrorist, so he says, he's a terrorist. So it's trying to plant it in your head that he's some type of nefarious dude. He's probably just a guy trying to stay in power because he doesn't want to not be the director of S.W.O.R.D. That's what I think.
He reminds me of somebody who's seen a lot of crime, who's seen a lot of theft, and he's just being sinister, right? He's just sinister. Everybody's up to no good. Everything is going to hell. That's just the way I think the nature of that character is.
I mean, I definitely think he knows more than he's letting on, but I don't think he's world conquering type. I just think he wants to keep his position as head of S.W.O.R.D. and he's playing the role of duplicitous in the show.
And to go on what Michael says, I do believe Hydra is always back, but I think they're coming back in a way that people don't. I think they're coming back as AIM, again because of the whole hexagonal forms and that being AIM's logo. That I think Hydra is being redisguised as AIM.
Hold on. Don't get off that right there because I want to ask a question right here.
Okay. Cool.
She says that she needs this lead bubble, titanium, whatever.
Well, what she's talking about is there's 3 different forms of energy that she's trying to deflect here. So she goes, well, I need a bunker because she's thinking I need X number of feet to deflect photon. I need to be able to deflect. What was the other? There's something sort of radiation in the whatever the third one was. And if I could do that, can I get in? And which is, I guess, technically.
Then that lady says, "Well, we know whatever scientist that could help." Is that Tony?
She does. No, she says, "I know," and she never discloses. Monica says, "I know an aerospace."
There's Tony Stark. Tony's dead. Aerospace technician the first person I thought of when she said that is
Who
Reed
is it?
Richards.
Are you saying it's
Ooh,
you saying it can't be Tony
very
Stark?
nice.
Reed Richards is
No,
the
Tony
smartest
Stark is
man.
dead.
No,
I'm done.
Reed Richards is the smartest man in the Marvel universe. He built the ship that took them to space, so he knows aerospace.
Oh,
Master of all sciences.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I think that's a great pick. The Reed Richards would be a fantastic pick. Now, there's a couple of
Pun
things that also
intended.
happen. There's a couple of things that happens
Wait,
here.
wait, hold on. What JKR?
I said pun intended because he said a fantastic pick.
Oh, yeah,
He
get
didn't
it.
even catch it.
Fantastic pick.
He didn't even catch it.
I didn't even catch it. No, but there's a couple other things that happen here.
Wait, but before
They
we
make
move on,
make mention as to how powerful Wanda must be, and Monica says, "Well, yeah, she could have taken out Thanos, if he didn't blitz her." And then Chu says, "Well, Captain Marvel
right?
could have taken him
like
out."
Captain
And
Marvel,
then
right?
Monica's face changes. Her reaction to his mentioning Captain Marvel.
I think
She has a reaction to that.
I think that's because with her being around her mom, I think technically, and what we don't know beforehand when she was in the hospital for her mom for cancer, is I think Monica blames Captain Marvel for her mom getting cancer.
Possibly. Yeah.
Ooh.
We'll find out in Captain Marvel.
And Victor Von Doom, I think that's a great possibility, but Victor Von Doom wasn't a master of all sciences.
Let's talk about my extreme disappointment at this moment because
Why?
y'all just crushed like my thoughts that Iron
I
Man
would
was
agree.
gonna like
I would
show
agree.
up.
I would
No,
agree.
get out. No.
Tony Stark was gonna show up and he was gonna
He's
he was gonna
dead.
come with Doctor Strange and they were gonna go like fix some I'm devastated now.
No, Tony Stark is dead at this point.
Devastated.
After Endgame, he died.
Devastated.
One thing I did want to point out that Thomas is pointing out, yes, Scarlet Witch does have history with Doctor Doom.
Mhm.
However, this is Monica saying she knows an aerospace technician. That's why I don't
True.
think it's Victor Von Doom, because she was, it's Monica knowing him, not Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch does have a history with him in the Young Avengers.
But-
Getting there.
During this conversation with these two, it comes up about the children. Now,
Yes.
are they real? Is basically the question that you
I-
has, and she says they're definitely real.
Real.
I
Which
have
brings
something that I
up-
want to point out though.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we think they're real, right? That's where we're sticking with this.
100%.
When the drone come in for the shot, the
Mhm.
kids weren't in the drone shot. Now, when the drone went away, the kids were right beside her. When the
Mhm.
drone had the camera on her, the kids weren't there. So
Right.
that tells
No,
me that those
because
kids are not real.
The drone was focused solely on her. Because, of
Yeah.
course,
Ooh, I want to go back and rewatch that, Wayne. I want to go back and rewatch how that
I
was
rewinded it a
cropped.
few times to see it.
Well, that's very interesting.
When the
No, but
drone's
at this point,
no kids.
they're having this discussion, and she says, "No, whatever's in the bubble is real."
yes.
And that's when, like a light bulb, ding.
Yes.
Let's go to the lab. I want to see my clothes. And the period clothes that had been morphed and warped. And what she was wearing was a Kevlar jacket. So she pulls a used gun, shoots her clothes, notices that her clothes have now been basically morphed into the period clothing. And they come up with a theory that, hey, what if we send something in that doesn't need to be
From that
morphed?
decade.
Something from that period. And that's where that drone scene comes in next.
Yes.
After the dog scene. So let's talk about the
we
dog.
completely skipped over the dog.
Now we got to get this dog scene. They're hiding the dog. Let me turn this off.
Yeah, they're hiding the dog and they're watching him. She comes in, she finds out there's a dog. The boys, of course, want to keep it. And then Vision comes in. Here's a key. Vision came in with his human form because he goes, and Wanda asks him, well, why are you dressed like that? And he goes, because I have a feeling that
The kids are right there next to her.
Is
Oh, yeah,
that
they
the
are
drone
there.
shot though?
That's
Or
the
is
drone
that
shot. Yeah, that's the drone shot.
I'll have to go back and watch it again now.
but he
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again.
because I got
Just when they got close, it zoomed in on Wanda.
I got a feeling that somebody's going to come in. And sure enough, who shows up with all the items that they need for a dog.
Agnes.
Agnes. Yep.
That's because Vision is figuring it out.
Yeah.
He's starting
he
to
knows
figure it out.
something.
Yeah.
Just like
Well, so here's
Truman's
another
show when-
here's another important thing that happens here is she makes this.
Yeah,
Well,
we
no,
we skipped over Vision at work.
Vision comes in and the kids are, can we keep it? Can we keep it? And no, you're not old enough yet. And Vision like 10, and the kids look at each other and age up to 10.
Right in front of
Agnes,
Yes.
right in front of everybody. So now we're keeping the dog, and Wanda makes
A dog collar out
a
of
dog collar right out in front of and Vision's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Before we get to their discussion, because their discussion did end up turning into something that had to do with the work was afterwards, because
Yeah, the word
he
came
started
out.
going, well, why are you doing magic in front of Agnes? And he started to discuss, and then all of a sudden, I think they flipped to another scene. He's like, well, we've never been off the same page, blah blah blah, and they go to a scene where all of a sudden the boys are training the dog. Vision's not there. They want to go show Vision, and she says he's at work. Well, does he not want to be with us? Blah blah blah. There's a thing there that I believe Wanda made him go to work. There are certain things that Vision is understanding, but he's not quite. He
But
doesn't have
what happens at work was the first jaw bah
And
moment.
this goes back to what I said last week. Did I not say this last week? That on that thing from that the exact guy that he had done this to, he has the ability to pop them out of their trance. I did zoom in and read that on that little script there. So I
We're
called
not there yet, Michael. We're not there yet, Michael. We're
Not
getting
there.
So
Vision.
they're at work.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're at work. He's got new computers.
Yes.
They're joking, interacting. Hey, I got an email. Hey, here's the letter
Definitely
opener, and
80s
all kinds of
style.
corny, jokey stuff.
Yes.
But the
80s
letter,
stuff.
the email that comes in is from Sword.
It's from Sword.
And it's like, hey, the Maximoff thing is going on, and the people, the citizens are and everybody's laughing about it, and Vision is like tripping, like, whoa, this is not good.
Yep.
So he turns that off, and he looks at this guy, and he basically wakes him up. Man, the look on my wife's face when this guy woke up, man, because I had, I saw a couple times, and I wanted to see her reaction. And he wakes up, and his first, this is
He says
you can hear the terror in him. He's like, how long has it been? Where's my sister? Who's taking care of my father? The things that you would think about, if you had been away from your family.
Please make her stop.
Yeah,
They never emphasize that, because obviously
her is,
we know that Wanda was his wife. He never said make Wanda stop.
Right.
He said make her stop.
They played a pronoun game to keep you guessing.
I think he's referring to
Kept saying her. Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't think Wanda's the one that. I think she's controlling things, but she's not fully
I
controlling.
don't think she's got the people under the trance.
I had to jump on the tech bot bandwagon. I don't think she's
I
controlling
disagree with you.
everything.
Yeah, I think
Because
she's controlling all of
when
it.
there's at the the next thing at the end when Vision and they're having that conversation, he says, I woke him up, and she's like, oh shit, it's time to go to bed.
I think she knows about it, but I don't think that she put them under the trance. I think
Right.
Agnes put them under the trance.
I don't think it was Agnes. I think it was Dottie.
It's very possible.
I think it was
We have
Dottie.
completely forgotten about Dottie.
Well, he puts the guy back to sleep,
Right.
and then
Yes.
he heads home.
By the way,
And-
Fully aware at this
great
moment.
actor, because the way he popped in and out of character
Oh, yeah,
from
yes.
one to the that was
Yes.
awesome. He was so good with it. I was like, yo, this guy's a good actor. That's not easy to do.
No, I agree.
But-
Vision at this point, though, is fully awoke.
He hasn't got home yet.
Oh,
Vision's
Vision's-
the dog.
Yeah.
We're training the dog. They hear something overhead, and that's when we do the whole drone thing.
This
That
drone
was-
thing is just intense, man.
Monica wants
Intense
to
scene.
talk to her, and then what does Director Hayward go? Well, this ain't working. Arm
Take
it.
the shot.
She doesn't know anything about this thing being armed. He's got a secret agenda.
And as soon as he says shooter, the screen goes black and the alarms go off, and you hear, we've got a breach. And you're like, oh, yeah. You done brought it on yourself. Right?
I think Hayward set that up in a perfect way, because Wanda hears Monica talking, and then the drone shoots her. So she think Monica shot her.
Yeah.
She doesn't know Hayward gave the order.
And Cam, we're gonna get to this towards the end, but Wanda's not controlling everything.
Yeah, I don't think she's controlling.
There's a moment she points out that we're gonna get to that, but she is not
Okay.
she's controlling a lot, but she's not controlling everything.
All right, so now tell me, this is what Marvel fans, you've got this thing jumping back and forth, but when Wanda comes walking through and they've got all those guns, lasers pointing at her, and she comes dragging this drone that is basically still sparking red because she put the voodoo whammy on it, and she throws this thing at his feet. I'm like intense, dude.
Yeah.
They've got all these lights on her, and
she wasn't scared.
she's like,
one bit. She's like, please.
She recognizes Hayward right away.
Hayward, now director Hayward's like, well, what did you
Another
expect
way why I
us
think
to
they
do?
know each other, because she recognized him and called him director, so she knows who he is.
Yeah, she knows who he is.
Well, I didn't pick up on that. I didn't pick up on that
either. But
I picked up on. But then Monica jumps in and she goes, "Oh, you're still here," and then starts the red ball like she's gonna do something.
But Monica talks her down pretty well. She says, "Man,
That's
Right, you're a telepath.
That's because Wanda has telekinesis abilities.
She has telepathy.
She can realize that Monica is trying to help her.
Right.
Mhm.
She can read people's minds, so she knows the good from the bad. So she's got to know.
Here, this is important though, because so he says, "Well, you've taken a whole town hostage." She goes, "You guys have the guns." Monica walks up and basically says, "Well, what do you want?"
Right.
She goes, "I have what I want." And
she
no
said,
one's
"No
going to
one's
take it from
gonna-"
me again.
And looks directly at Hayward when she said
At Hayward. And then basically takes over all these guys' minds with the guns. And when those guns turn to Hayward, I got the chills. I'm just like, shoot him! Shoot those guns!
she turns every one of them on him.
Right? Because it was in the music. It's all intense. She turns around and walks off. And now this whole blue, outfield, the whole thing goes dark, deep red. And she walks back through it. What'd I miss, Chris?
No, I think she made the bubble stronger. Whatever she did, she made the bubble stronger and harder for them to do something. The red means, I think there's a couple things. The meaning of the red, of course, we know that, and I'm always going to keep pointing this out because I know that at some point, and we're probably not going to see it till the very last episode. But the red, of course, is for the Scarlet Witch, and that's her colors. That's her color of her powers. But there's also a thing in there of Mephisto. That's his color. Mephisto's all red. So again, there's something in there as that. So she goes back into the bubble, mind you, she came out of that bubble in her Scarlet Witch outfit.
She did.
Yep.
So she goes back into the bubble, and now the kids are looking for the dog. And you have this interaction with the mailman.
My thing right here.
That interaction with the mailman was kind of cool. He's like, "Hey, don't worry, your mom ain't letting that dog go."
Before we get to that part, though,
before we get there,
what happened
the first time we saw the mailman? I think the mailman is the Grim Reaper.
Possibly. I mean, he's definitely in on it somehow, because when in the other episode where he was like, "Oh, don't shoot the messenger," like there's something with him. He knows something, but there's a point where, like Wayne was saying, when she came out the house with the kids, then the drone shot at her. It goes black. She comes out dragging the drone. Where'd the kids go? Because the kids were with her when she came out.
I need to rewatch that again, because I'm convinced that there's a moment there when the drone pans out and there's no kids. I'll have to watch it again, but I'm gonna have to check that out to make sure, because I could have sworn that
when they first came out the house and the drone was looking at them, the kids were with her. I didn't watch further just now, so I'll watch further. And see
I'm gonna have to when we get off here, because that was.
And she takes out the drone and she goes outside the bubble with the drone, but then she goes back in and she's with the kids again. So where were the kids while she was outside the bubble?
We know when the drone was looking at her, her eyes went red, and so she may have done something, put the kids in a safe place.
But she has no power over the kids.
I'm thinking that the kids aren't real. I'm thinking that the kids are going to be, what do y'all call him, the devil?
No, the kids are 100% real, because
I don't know.
I think continuity error. Marvel messed up.
Hey, I got a question for you. I think we missed a little detail that's going to be. It's about to come up here. when she was telling the kids that, yeah, your dad's at work, and they're like, why? It's Saturday. She's like, no, it's Monday. No, mom, it's Saturday. And then she goes, well, sometimes, he needs to be
Distracted.
And they sit down next to her, and she goes, well, just like you guys don't always agree, you're always going to be brothers. Family is everything, right? Is that what she says?
Yeah.
Something is forever.
Family
She says family is forever. And then they said, do you have a brother, or you have any? Right. And she says, yes, I have a brother, but she doesn't say he's dead.
Yeah.
She says, I've
He's
got a
far
brother
away.
and he's very far away. And that
Yep.
makes me sad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
Right. The kids are manipulating her. They're starting to plant the seed of manipulation, I think. Look, with why isn't Dad
And
here? Does he
that
not
that
love us?
conversation happens right before the the drone scene. She
drone,
said
right.
that makes me
Well,
sad.
you got to think too, is especially Wiccan, which I believe is Billy. Wiccan is gonna have the witching powers of both Scarlet Witch and powers from Mephisto as well. So that's why I think he's got the ability to have that really dark magic in there, and that's why she can't control him. So Billy may be actually looking after Tommy, but and good point that I didn't pick up on it earlier. That it's very possible that it was Wiccan that is the one that made them age.
Right, but
Yeah.
they're alive outside of this bubble, right?
Yes, they are alive outside of the bubble.
Then how are they
Well,
inside the bubble? Is
We don't know if they're alive outside
children.
the bubble. They
Well, we
came
know
in
that
to
they
be
eventually
in the
come back
bubble,
as Avenger.
but
We know they eventually come back into the real world.
yeah, but we can't
You know
go on
what?
comic
For-
books though. 'cause
But yeah, you got to stop introducing the comic book stuff because you're really confusing him. Let's stick to the show.
Yeah.
As far as the show's concerned, stick to the show. These kids are alive. They're in the bubble. They're just
the
went
bubble.
from birth to 5, from 5 to 10.
But they're
That's where
alive
they're at.
outside of the
Now
bubble.
let's get. There
But
was
they're
no
alive-
outside of the.
No,
there,
there's no
there
outside
were
of
no
the
other
bubble for
kids.
them.
There weren't any
Right.
kids that were brought into the bubble for
Not
that.
in
Don't worry about the
MCU,
bubble.
Not in this reality right
Yeah.
now.
Wait,
In the
Not in
comic
this
books,
reality.
they're alive. In
Wait,
the
we're
show,
basically
they're
we're gonna keep
in
it within
bubble.
the show. When
Yeah,
we
let's
read
keep it
the
within the
comic
show
book,
for Wayne here.
There you go.
Keeping the show. So they come back in, and the kids are looking for the dog.
Mhm.
Right? They run into the mailman who says, well, he ain't getting far. Your mom ain't gonna let him get very far.
Right.
And they go over to Agnes's house where the dog is now dead.
Yeah.
The dog's dead. And it gets real somber real quick. I mean, this is
It gets
tearjerker
dark,
stuff,
yes.
man.
wait,
I mean, it goes from 0 to freaking, I'm going to rip a tear out of your face in about 30 seconds.
we are missing something right before that. Did anybody catch where the commercial came from?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Lagos.
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 Yeah.
We
Which
old,
is
old bounty
where she had her
commercials.
issue where she Lagos is
Yeah.
where she put the guy in the bubble,
it
put him way
got
up in the
blown
air,
up.
and then it
Yeah.
blew up the building and killed all those people.
Yes. And then
Okay.
there was a saying, and I didn't write down the saying I was going to, but it was
Yeah,
basically
right,
emphasizing
that's,
when you create a big mess,
When you make a mess, yeah, that you didn't mean to.
yeah, that's what you
Yeah.
do.
But
So
see,
now this dog's dead,
but-
and the kids are like,
wait,
"Mom."
wait.
Okay.
Bring it
The
back.
thing with Lagos, see, people keep blaming Scarlet Witch for killing those people. Now,
Oh, your fault.
let me tell you something. If I okay, JB, you're in the house with your kids, right?
Mhm.
I throw a grenade into your house. You pick up the grenade and throw it back out the house, and people die. Is it your fault they died?
Right?
I threw the
I don't
grenade,
know.
right? So
Right?
Crossbones blew himself
It's
up.
definitely Crossbones' fault.
Now, if you see in the movie, there's people all around them. So if Wanda didn't stop him from exploding, then people would have died. She tried to contain it, threw him up in the air. He exploded in the air. People died. It's not her fault those people died.
Yeah,
I
I
She just
agree.
changed
I-
which people died. So that's not her fault. People keep blaming her for that. It's not her fault.
No,
I agree with you
100%
100%.
She didn't kill anybody. She was trying to
100%.
save people. Other people died. It happens. Police do it. Firemen do it. Medical professionals do it. You try to save a certain group of people. Another group of people died. Oh, well. Sorry. Stop blaming Wanda. She didn't die. That's my rant.
All right.
Go ahead. She didn't kill
Yeah.
people, I mean. That's my rant. You got to me too late.
I know. That's right.
You was trying.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
All right.
There's
to
so
the
many
dog.
gaps in this story. I mean, there's so many gaps in these stories.
Well, that's what Marvel does. Marvel leaves you guessing.
And another thing
So
about
what was the point of the
commercials-
dog dying? What I mean, so the kids look at mom, they're sad, and she's like, no, don't age up, don't run from this. And she kind of explains that death is part of it, and you can't change it. And
She also
she's saying all these things that
she ran away
someone
from
needs to
her
be
own
telling her.
Right.
Huh?
Exactly. She's starting to realize by her saying this to the kids that she ran away from her own grief.
Throughout the whole
Mhm.
episode, what she's telling the kids not to do is exactly what
She's doing.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so we're
the
all
fact that-
on the same page
The
there.
fact that
Now, hold
the
on.
kids
There's
said-
something else. Now, go ahead. The kid said, but you can.
you can bring them back to life.
Well, no,
First
that's
of
not what he
all-
said. He said you can fix death.
Yes, you can
Yes.
fix that. There you go.
And
So-
Agnes says,
I
you
would
can do that?
I think Agnes killed the dog.
I
think
agree.
she killed the
I
dog.
think
She
so too.
absolutely killed the dog.
Yes.
But notice how Agnes was kind of with the you can do that. Oh,
Yeah.
No, and then that I did pick up on that because again, that is an ability of the Scarlet Witch, and I think that also Agnes didn't even realize she could, that there is even a possibility she could do that, because technically, if the plans are
Yes.
what I said it from the get go, it's for her to have the kids, the Grim Reaper to take the kids to Mephisto, and her to go apeshit crazy. Then that completely screws up all of her plans, because basically the Grim Reaper has to kill the kids in order to bring them to Mephisto.
yeah. I don't like that theory.
I'm still going to stick with the
I don't
theory
think
that the
that's
kids aren't there.
The
But
kids
the
aren't.
kids-
Well, no. I mean, that was I think the guy mentioned that. Well, isn't this just an illusion? Isn't she just messing with your head? And then Wanda's like, no, those kids are real.
They're real.
Right.
They're
She
real.
proved it when she went
Yeah.
and looked at her not Wanda, Monica.
Monica.
Proved it when she went and found her uniform. It was still in the form of the 60s
The bulletproof
and
vest.
or the 70s, whatever era. they
But
were in. She kicked her
it
out.
meshed all the material together, right? Which is
Right.
what
It was-
happened to
because
her
she
also.
went in wearing Kevlar,
Yes.
so it's still made
Ooh,
out of
nice
Kevlar.
one, Michael.
It's just
Nice one.
changed
I
into
like that one.
what Wanda changed it
Halloween
into. So
episode
she
for sure.
Possibility.
basically what
Yeah.
they're saying is like, because they were figuring that Wanda created this whole place, but what they're saying is Wanda didn't create it, she's just changing it. So whatever the original material or whatever everything was, that's what it still is. She just changed it to the era and to make it look how she wanted it to look.
Yeah.
So the timing of everything is just perfect, right? So the dog dies. The kids say, "Mom, bring him back," or
Right.
whatever. I thought you
And
said family was
how they know
forever.
she could do
Now
that.
she sits down and tells them all the things that a parent should say, which is against what she's personally doing.
Right.
And Vision shows up basically right after the death. You can't what is it?
Yeah.
And he notices and he consoles the boys.
Mhm.
And then they cut to the house. Vision's coming in from burying the dog. That's what he's
Yeah, that's
done.
what it
He's
looks
coming
like,
out from
yeah.
the backyard, done buried the
Buried
dog, gonna
yeah.
wash his hands in the sink, and he's ready to have this talk. This is it.
This talk is
He turn-
intense.
This is intense because he turns around and
Yes.
says, "By the way, I unlocked
Mhm.
whatever his name
Norm.
was.
Norm.
I unlocked Norm's mind from your control." And she kind of
Like,
and
what are you
tries to
talking
giggle it
about?
off.
Yeah.
Tries to giggle it off, and he goes, "No, we're not just going to go watch TV." She starts rolling end credits on him. Starts
Yeah.
playing the music.
Well, no,
You're running out of time music, and he's like, "No, what's the Maximoff, issue?" And he follows her into the next room.
It was a
And
maximum.
he's not done.
Well, he
Yeah,
says
we're not done. We're not
he
done
says
having this
something
conversation.
key before they went into the other room.
What did he say?
I believe at the beginning you didn't know that you were controlling it, but now you're fully
Yes.
aware. Now
Yes.
you are fully aware you're in
And
control.
that's what I think happened. She
Incident of the
really
couch
didn't know.
before the great unveil is she goes, I don't know how this started.
Right.
And that's where I've said, when I wanted to go back to what I believe Michael had said, somebody said, Wanda is not controlling this world. Somebody created this world and gave her the opportunity. I think, and that's why also when that came up, it reminded me back to that video of Wanda going to get Vision, and it stopped. And it goes, there's got to be more to that. And I said, that's probably where Mephisto brought this idea to her and said, hey, if you want to grieve, you want to get your life back of what you wanted, I can give it to you. Sign the deal with the devil. Underlining that I want you to have my kids and steal them from you.
But I didn't say all that part. That's in the fine print.
So this confrontation it's intense. I mean, my wife was sitting on the edge of her seat when they both went up in the air like this. She's like, oh. And no, you know what? It's funny is that she had to ask you, who's more powerful? I'm like, oh my, it's not even close. I mean, it's Wanda, right? Yeah. So they get up here, and the line that I think that really brings her back down is that when he says, I can't remember anything.
Yeah. Before
prior to here. You know, I can't remember, and I'm scared. And when he says he's scared, it kind of changes the tone of the argument, you know. Mm-hmm. And she calms down, and she's like, no, you know, there's nothing to be, you know, you're my husband, you're our children's parents, you know, that's what you are. And he feels that there's just something wrong, is you're controlling this. Yep. You know, this guy wants to see his family. It was just so intense.
Yep. And while you're on that picture, notice that in the middle there's an M.
There's an M in the curve. Yeah, look at I never noticed that.
I didn't even see that.
When the whole section going on, I did pick up on this. It looks to be a face in that freaking window.
Yeah, just
holy moly, dude! No, it's just a reflection of her hand. It's a reflection of her hand. Gotta be.
Look, I'm going to say that I don't
with me like that.
I think that the only reason Vision's alive is because she is keeping him alive.
Yeah, she's making. That's basically his corpse. She's walking around with his corpse.
Yes, that is exactly what I think. That he is just a corpse walking around, and he's alive because she is keeping him there.
Yeah, but the thing with that is something from last week that I wanted to talk about, but I wasn't here. Because Paul Bettany had said there was that Kevin Feige had talked to him about an end scene for Endgame that they didn't shoot. That Wanda was supposed to go to the morgue and see Vision's body. So that was supposed to set up this, which was her leaving with his body. But what I think really happened, since they didn't do the scene, I'm thinking, okay, well, that last scene is canon. But she didn't take his body. She buried him. Like, she was like, all right, well, buried him. But Sword, under Hayward, took the body, which is why she said to Hayward, no one's ever going to take it from me again. Meaning that she had his body, probably buried it properly. And Sword took it to experiment on it. That's why she was pissed and went and took it back. But Hayward's trying to play it like she's the bad guy. Like, she just broke the facility and took it. Because he already said that Vision said he didn't want his body used as a weapon. So why were they dissecting it? Why were they studying it? Right? If anything, leave him buried. And even before
Hayward knew of what his wishes were, but still had him dissected.
Right. And also in the episode where Monica came back, they were talking about nanobots, what was it? AI and something else, which is all what Vision is, basically.
He says something at the end of this confrontation that if I can jump ahead on it, I'm just going to jump ahead. He says there's no other children here. Why?
Oh, he realizes that. Yeah. And that's when she goes around. Yeah. He goes, I walk to work and there's no kids. Where are the kids?
Right. So,
I mean, so where are the kids?
There's no kids there yet.
There are no kids. There was meant for that.
It's going to be in the next episode because
she has to make kids. She's like, okay, he's picking up. It's Halloween. I need to make some freaking kids because there's going to be some trick or treating.
But the thing with that,
this is going to be intense.
He's pleading with her to stop.
Right. Yeah. Because he thinks she's in control of it all, but I don't think she's in control of it all. She's in control of some of it, and someone else is pulling some of the strings too. That's what I think.
I think you're right there. I think that we have 3 villains in it so far that I think that we're going to see come to the light before it's over with that are having some influence on her. Yeah. But I still think that she's totally in control. She just they just have some influence on her.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I know that she can control the world they're in, but I don't know the extent of control she has over the whole place.
I mean, like Agnes. I think Agnes has a lot of influence on Wanda. I think she has a lot of it.
But she's scared of her too, though, because anytime something goes wrong, she looks at. Because when the dog died, or when she killed the dog, I think she killed the dog, but she got discovered. I think she was trying to hide the body, really, but they came and found her, and you could see in her face, she was like, yeah, he ate some of my azaleas. Like she had to make up something, and she was scared. I think she thought Wanda was going to do
Well,
something.
you also got to remember, Agatha Harkness was also a mentor of Wanda at some point.
In the comics. Remember, we're MCU now. We don't know their relationship yet.
We know Kevin Feige is strong in a lot of the comics.
So we're going to see what happens.
Especially if this is the start of setting up Secret Wars, as we all hope this will eventually get to. And yes, we get to the biggest
Big
thing
reveal.
of all.
Here
Oh,
is
also,
Now, of course, they're arguing. And then what happens through this entire episode? Every time they're arguing and she's about to say something,
it's interrupted.
The doorbell rings. Ding
Well,
dong.
It's always interrupted.
and she's standing at the door, speechless. And he comes over and says, "Who is this?" And it is the Quicksilver. Not only that, it was the Quicksilver from the X-Men series, which was at the time a Fox series entity, not the Quicksilver from the Age of Ultron.
Ooh.
So of course, this is huge to me, and anybody who's huge fans understands the difference between the Sony properties and the Marvel properties and what's happening, and how X-Men weren't part of the Marvel universe, and how are they going to be introduced? The biggest question ever: how does Disney introduce the Sony X-Men and get them into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Well, guess what just happened?
I don't think that's what's happening.
This is the door has been opened, because what they've done now is with this character coming in as an established character in the cinematic world that they've bought now. This is the Quicksilver that they bought. They can bring them all in, and the line where she says they recast Pietro? What? Well, yeah, that means they're gonna they can do whatever they want. They have just now busted the door open on basically the multiverse, because she can bring in whoever she wants now. Who's next?
I don't think Wanda brought him in because she didn't control that doorbell, and she was surprised to see him. Like,
You
I
also
don't think she
remember
did
if
Who
you
brought
remember
him
the
in?
X-Men series when this Quicksilver was around, he was around in the 80s. Because remember that X-Men did a lot of time jumping, and he was around in the 80s, 90s, in there. So it was in the perfect realm of where they were going. So it kind of worked in. I mean, I like Evan Peters. I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he played Quicksilver very well.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think he played a better Quicksilver than the Age of Ultron. I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah.
But
Aaron Taylor.
But yeah, so now they can go, okay, we're introducing all these older characters, the ones that we want, that we thought were good, and bring it in there.
But I don't think he's coming in as Quicksilver, though.
No,
I think he's
I
coming
think
in
he's
the TV
disguised as
show.
somebody. I think he's disguised as somebody.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So
coming in
see
as a
that
TV show.
Thomas brought something up that I think that I guess I didn't really put a whole lot
Think
of
about
thought into.
Nightmare.
They have to. They're not just they're just not building it for us in the United States. They have to be doing it for the censorship in other countries as well. So China's going to have some kind of influence on where this is going as well.
Not for this, though, because that's for movies. That's for movies. They try to keep devils and stuff out of their movies. This is a TV show, and Disney Plus isn't even in China yet, so it doesn't matter. And then when it does go to China, they can just not show WandaVision. So yeah, I still think it could be Mephisto. I don't think that has anything to do with it. As far as
that's an interesting point, though, right? I mean, I guess I never
for
really
movies.
thought about
That's definitely something they consider, but because they get a lot of their money from China when it comes to movies. But for this Disney Plus, for this app, yeah, they're going for that American money. So I don't think that makes much difference in this show.
It's an interesting point, though. But Chris,
It is.
I have to hear your theory. Where are we going? Where's it going?
I think this is a distraction. Of course, I think that the kids are coming in. I still think that the ultimate thing, and some things kind of then got brought up to me with this, as far as I think at some point we're going to see the other half of that clip that Hayward had shown. I don't think Hayward is Mephisto, as some people think. I think he is part of Hydra or AIM. To be honest with you, but I still think, again, I think they are we all believe that into phase 6, of course, we're only on phase 4, but most of us all believe that in phase 6, the big, how in the phase 3 of MCU, it was all about building up the Infinity Wars. And they spent 3 phases building that up. I think the next phase is going to be building up Secret Wars. And this is really a very big start to that in that realm. Of course, I hate to see Wanda be made into a villain, but in the end, I think she will eventually. I'm still sticking to my guns that I think that once the Grim Reaper grabs the kids and brings them to Mephisto, that she goes crazy and she is going to be a villain inside the Doctor Strange multiverse of madness. I think that's
Iron Man. Doctor Strange, you're gonna come in. Save the day.
Man, there's some great stuff in the chat right now. I love some of these
Yeah,
ideas here.
This chat has been on fire.
Wow.
They really have. There's a lot of great stuff. They've made me think.
Yeah, Thomas, you're blowing me away right now.
On this one, it said Agatha has a necklace that's exactly like Agnes's. We did point that out a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, she still has it. It's on her
that
shoulder.
brooch, and the brooch is actually, if you zoom in on it, and this is where my theory of why the Grim Reaper is, of course, there. Is the brooch is of a Grim Reaper with 2 children, thus being the Grim Reaper and Tommy and Billy. That's my theory.
It sounds good to me. It sounds good to me.
JK,
that's awesome.
I want to go to Thomas's comment. I don't think it's Quicksilver, any version. It's a casting trick. I think that's what it is, too. It's just a meta joke. They're like, all right, well, so we're going to cast the Fox Quicksilver as her brother in the TV show of her TV show. Like, it's like a multi-layered meta joke.
There is one thing, too, with that Quicksilver. Is you got to remember that Quicksilver from the Fox entity was a mutant.
Right.
Whereas the Quicksilver that was created with her was not considered a mutant.
Not yet, anyway. And that's actually why they killed him off in Age of Ultron, because the Fox Quicksilver was better. First of all,
everything was way better. I would say.
And they had and that movie came out first. They had the rights to them, really. So it was like, all right, well, we're gonna introduce him. And Joss Whedon liked to kill people, so he's like, all right, I'm gonna kill off a character. So, but
what Easter eggs did we miss?
Oh man, I got so many, and I didn't really organize them because I didn't have time to organize them. So this is going to be a little janky.
Like I said, I still like the Evan Peters Quicksilver. I didn't.
Yeah. Let me see. Of course, Wanda couldn't control the kids because she was trying to put them to sleep, so the magic wouldn't work on her. Which actually takes me back to the last episode really quick when TechBot was talking about the smoke. I don't think the smoke was Mephisto. That was the 70s way of them showing Wanda's magic. Because if you look at the stork, he's blowing the smoke away from himself. So she couldn't make it disappear.
I'm still thinking that was Mephisto.
No, I don't think it was Mephisto.
Yeah, this is just for you, okay? This is just for you.
Yeah, it's Mephisto. Everybody's Mephisto. All right. At the beginning, when Vision comes in, he said he was reading The Descent of Man to one of the twins, which is a Darwin book about evolution. And of course, the X-Men are about evolution. Let's see. Agnes calls herself Auntie Agnes. And in the second episode, I think, when they were in the supermarket, there was a billboard for Auntie A's cat litter. So Auntie Agnes, Auntie A. Let me see.
Oh, I got to show the whole thing here.
Oh, boy. Agnes wasn't surprised that they had kids, which was kind of shocking because when Geraldine found out Wanda was pregnant, she was shocked. But Agnes, she's in on it anyway, so that's not really an Easter egg. The pictures that they showed of Wanda as a kid, those were actually Elizabeth Olsen's baby pictures. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. There's still no kids around, so we saw that. Lavender.
I want to know what kid they photoshopped to be Baby Vision.
Baby Vision. Lavender is used to ward off spirits, and that's what Agnes was spraying.
I think it was a spell.
When Hayward was asking Jimmy Woo about Wanda having a secret code name, because remember, she's not called Scarlet Witch.
She wasn't ever called.
They're never called Quicksilver or Scarlet Witch at this point. So probably by the end of this show, somebody's going to call her Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
I think that's the setup.
Yeah, I do.
Of course, I mentioned when Darcy says Hayward's a dick and it cuts off to him saying terrorist. I think that's trying to throw in people off. Let's see. I'm sorry. Like I said, I didn't organize this. I was just writing stuff down because I usually watch it twice. I watch it once when it comes out, and then the second time I write down my notes. Agnes. Okay. In the first episode, you guys remember when Agnes was at the front door talking to Wanda for the first time. And she says, "Oh, I live on your right. I live on the right, not your right, my right." So facing the house, her right would be this side of the house, right? But in the episode where Wanda kicked out Monica, remember, Vision was outside. Who lived to the right of them? It was her. It wasn't Agnes, right?
Yeah.
So that means Agnes doesn't live next to them. And then you could think, okay, well, she lives on the other side. But when they just found the dog, they walked houses away from their house. And she was at a different house talking about he ate her azaleas. So was that her house? If that's the case, they don't live next to each other. That means Agnes lives further away than she said. So there's something up with that.
I'm sorry, I want to comment on this one thing real quick. I don't think Hayward had weaponized Vision. I think he was trying to. I think he was.
Oh, he was trying to
weaponize Vision, but I think that when she went and grabbed it, I think that's why Hayward has something against it, because Hayward wants the pieces to Vision back so he can weaponize it. I think he was trying to.
Yeah, Thomas, I just talked about that. I think Wanda had Vision's body and possibly buried him. Sword took Vision's body. Wanda found out about it and went and took the body back. So that's why she has them in this bubble. She's protecting them because she knows that they want to weaponize Vision. That's what I think. Or at least Hayward wants to weaponize Vision. Let me see. Oh boy, it's too much. It's too much. Monica mentions photons again, which was her name.
Instagram picture.
Every time the kids age
I'm on
up,
Instagram.
they're in front of
WandaVision.
in front of Agnes. Of course, Norm plays the pronoun game when he says "make her stop," not necessarily saying it's Wanda, so it could be someone else.
I didn't even pick up on that until you said that, man. He never said Wanda.
Right.
Never said
when Wanda came out of the bubble, I don't know if you guys noticed the monitors that they were watching the show on. They all went to "please stand by."
Yes,
so she's definitely controlling the show.
The show part. I think she's controlling the show, but the bubble, I think, is being controlled by somebody else.
There was a theory. I didn't come up with this theory, but I like it. That the commercials, each commercial has something to do with one of the Infinity Stones, because the one with the watch obviously is the Time Stone. The bar of soap, the packaging looks like the Tesseract. The last one we just had, the liquid, is like the Reality Stone. I forgot which one they said the first one was, but they said the first one is representative.
I'm not 100%.
That was pretty cool. I'm not sold on it, but it makes sense.
It makes sense. I'm not sold on that being. I think they're memories of hers that.
No, they're definitely memories of her, but there's nods to the Infinity Stones in each one. So they're definitely her memories of significant points of her life. But yeah, those Infinity Stone nods are in there. I think so. Of course, the dog died in the comics the same way it died. It ate some flowers or something in the comics.
You gotta pay those other comics too.
Yeah. When Wanda was telling them not to age up because they can't run from their feelings, which is exactly what she's doing, running from her feelings. The kids mentioned her bringing Sparky back, but how does she know they could do that? How does they know she could do that? So I was just kind of like,
how do they know?
Well,
There's something strange with the kids.
What you also didn't realize is the boy that said that was Billy, which is wicked.
There's something real strange going on with those kids. I mean, just something real strange. And even the fact that her brother's dead, right?
Come on, their father is the devil. Come on, man.
Something real strange going on right there.
Father is the devil.
I think that's the plot twist in all of this is going to be the kids and her father and her brother and Vision. I think they're all going to kind of be the plot
find it
twist.
Astonishing that maybe it's from help from shows like this one right now, but the fact that Mephisto hasn't even been announced.
Do I need to go back to that
show.
again?
but every comic book right now that has Mephisto in it is blowing
Oh,
up
it's going
like
through the roof. Yeah.
crazy.
Gem Pops, what's up? Yeah, it's
What's
going
up,
through the
Jim
roof.
Pops?
And
Yep.
Mark, me
course.
too, brother.
There you go.
When
First
Wanda
appearance.
mentioned she doesn't know how it started, I think, like I said before, it's a psychotic break. She freaking going crazy. Like in the comic book, she's always going crazy for something.
Yeah, she's always
So-
going. She can't control her emotions.
Right. And the last thing is when not the last thing, but Pietro says he wants to squeeze his long lost sister to death. Could just be a random reference, but it's kind of weird thing to say. And of course, he calls Vision a popsicle, which popsicle would be somebody who's dead. He's a stiff.
I'm convinced he is.
But does
Oh,
he
that's a
know?
good reference. I didn't pick up on that one.
Or maybe he
Oh,
just
I
thinks
didn't
he's
get that
stuck up.
either, yeah.
Popsicle could be somebody who's stuck up.
That's why I think that I don't think that's really.
Oh, it's definitely not Pietro. The thing is, though, everybody who's in the bubble is somebody who was in the town already.
Yes.
The only people who came through were the beekeeper and Monica, and Scarlet Witch got rid of both of them. So if Pietro
What happened
is
to the
there,
beekeeper? Does he end up with powers? If Monica ends up with
we
powers,
don't
then
know.
the
We'll never
beekeeper
know
is
what
gonna have
happened to the
powers.
beekeeper.
They never show
Right.
us what happens with the beekeeper.
No,
Never
For all
shows
we
us
know,
what
she
happened
turned
with
him
the
into like
beekeeper.
water.
Flipped him out of
Oh,
existence.
he ended up becoming Swarm for real.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. They never
There is,
showed.
there is a swarm.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, they never showed us what happened to the
Yeah.
beekeeper. They left that
So
up
I
to the imagination.
I definitely think Pietro is somebody who's already in the bubble. Either the big bad that we don't know about, could be freaking Ralph for all we know.
The
Her
mailman.
husband Ralph.
Mailman's Grim Reaper.
Oh man, that's all I got.
That's the beauty about half of this is again.
I got.
My wife picks on me because I remember when Infinity Wars came out, and this is before I was doing YouTube and stuff like that. Is I was all about watching shows like this or people talking about analyzing the different trailers and stuff like that. All of us could be 100% wrong about everything, and there's
Whoa! What?
there's always a possibility.
Cam?
Listen,
But we're going by what we know from the comic books, and that's what I'm sticking with.
said the beekeeper's working at Radio Shack.
Right. Well, see, that's what that's what makes it interesting to me when Vision says, "Where are the kids?" Right? Because we know that everybody that's there was in the town when all of this happened, right? Or when she quarantined the town. So the kids still have to be there.
What?
Yeah,
Right.
that's something I was thinking too. When
I gotta.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
gotta go
just
back
said.
to this. I
well,
didn't.
first of all, that comment
Wanda at the door looking
that
beautiful.
Cam says, it's I think it's just a reverse shot of Pietro at the door, because I noticed the same thing. There's a mirror behind them, and in the mirror you can see Wanda's hand and Pietro, like a part of him in the mirror.
But his
and it
hand
looks kind of red. Yeah. But if you go through the whole show, there's certain parts where you see more red than others. So I think they were just highlighting the red a lot. Like, go through the show, watch it again. You're gonna see a lot of red in places that
I already
just
watched
looks
it 3 times. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna watch it
Watch it
again.
I'm gonna go watch it again.
But what Wayne was saying about what were you saying, Wayne? Oh, the
Where
kids.
are the children?
Yeah, because remember, if she I was going to talk about this. She domed the town.
Yep.
All the adults are there because remember, they went through and they found licenses for all these people. So all these people were there, but this town didn't have any kids at all. Obviously, there were kids. So
There's
where are
playgrounds.
they?
They're gonna be
So
in the
it's
next-
not like Wanda's just going to create kids.
No, there's
So-
playgrounds already.
Right. The kids are there. Where are the kids?
Look, it comes back to what was it, the first or second one for the children? Was
For
what
the
they're saying for the
children.
children?
It's Nightmare.
I think-
Nightmare has them. I swear to God.
I think next episode we're going to see all the kids show up.
Next
I think next
episode-
episode is going to be the Halloween episode.
But how about
Yeah.
did you like the part where she asked Vision, "Do you think I'm controlling people cutting the grass and walking
Yeah.
their dogs?" Absolutely. Do you remember the guy with the bush? Right?
Right.
And she was having the babies and he started like cutting the wall instead of the bush.
Right.
She lost focus for that second, you see it, and he went to like cutting the wall instead of the bush. Absolutely, she's in control of them.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then there's also, we're still stuck on this missing person that Wu was originally going to look for. Who's the missing person? Because you have to figure it's not any of the people we've seen yet because he's seen them. And he would have been like, oh, that's my missing person. but we haven't seen them yet. So maybe it's Ralph.
The fact that they haven't identified Agnes, they haven't identified Dottie. There's some people they haven't identified yet. Of course, we believe who them to be, but it's a hell of a show. I mean, that's one I'm
crazy.
It's a hell of a show.
Yeah, to go back to what you were saying, like we're gonna sit here and theorize and say we think it's this and you're wrong and this, that, and then get to the end, and whether it's what we thought or something totally different, as long as it's like awesome, we're not even gonna care. That's all I really care about. I just want it to be awesome.
Tony
Stark would be awesome too.
It's not gonna be Tony Stark.
It's
just
gonna
like
come in.
the Mandalorian. Like I didn't want Luke, but it was awesome. So I'm like, I don't care. So that's the same thing.
Tony can't come back in the multiverse of madness to his
Tony Stark and Doctor Strange are coming back.
Doctor Strange didn't die though.
They're going to talk Wanda off a ledge, and that's how it's going to end. Look, it's my.
Well, yes, and listen, you know what, Wayne? I can give you that because
I have a theory.
In the comics, when Tony Stark died, he downloaded his mind into.
He becomes a Jarvis. Yeah, he's going to be in Ironheart's.
His own version of Jarvis.
He's going to be Ironheart's AI.
Yeah. So you know what, Wayne? You could be right.
And my version's probably 99.9% wrong, but I'm sticking with
You're
it.
saying there's a chance.
Sticking with it. Right? You're saying there's a chance. You mean he might come back?
Hey, you never know. Like they say, Chris Evans is supposed to be coming back as Captain America.
It
could be Captain America.
Official. They've already signed on.
Could be Captain America.
This one was a lot of fun. JB, what do you have coming up next week you want to talk about?
Same old stuff I kind of got. I think I got a big Funko Pop unboxing. Actually, I do. I wonder if the thumbnail is up. Do I have the thumbnail up? Let's see if I get the thumbnail up.
Right there.
Yep.
I think I have the thumbnail up.
Wonder Man in the comics is where they originally got Vision's brainwaves from. So nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next video, and then I've dropped every Thursday. I got a 2-minute video. That's my top 10 comics of stuff I'm actually physically reading, going to the comic book store to get. That's doing really well. And I make a bunch of guest appearances. I'm on Thursday night's Lords of the Long Box show. I'm on this one.
Does your comic book store keep you aside all the new stuff?
Well, I have stuff on my pull list. So, of course, yeah, they kind of just pull it aside for me and give it to me.
What about this major giveaway you have going on?
So major, you ready for this? You got no, actually, I'm not gonna tell you. Watch the video. Watch the 2-minute and 15-second video. And it's in the first 10 seconds, I think. It's in the first 10 seconds of the video. And it's super simple. And one per week will be put in the drawing for like a really cool prize. Huge giveaway.
I love it.
One per week is getting on there. So get up on it. It's super simple. It's like a comment. Watch the video.
Hey, and don't forget to smash that like button, or Wanda's going to put you in the bubble.
I didn't even read that until the very end of the show. That's why I started giggling. I was like, that thing's been rolling the whole time.
It's rolling.
Holy moly. Well, put you in the bubble.
I keep changing it every week.
Oh, you know what? Since you do still have me on there, I might as well drop that. If you haven't already, please do hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you don't miss our next video.
Guys, as always, all of these channels are down in the description, so make sure you go down in the description, direct link to them. If you're not already subscribed to these channels, you got to be living under a rock anyways, but I'm sure that we're not living under a rock. Make sure you get over there, subscribe to everybody's channels. JKL, what do you have going on, brother?
Stuff.
What do you mean stuff? You sound like JB now. I've got a giveaway video that I'm going to make sure that I keep blasting, by the way, because I think it's a really awesome giveaway, but I'm not going to say what it is because he didn't say what it was. Really awesome giveaway.
I don't have any giveaways coming up none planned anyway.
What videos do you have coming up?
I'm liable to just give something away. I don't have any video. I mean, I have stuff. I don't know what I'm putting out next. I have stuff I'm trying to edit. Wednesdays 4:30 hot topics. Me and Pop Heat.
Let's talk about your editing though, because you did an edit here recently that I think everybody here can agree with was fire.
Awesome.
That intro was fire.
That was a spur of the moment idea that I had. I can't even say spur of the moment. I had an idea for that for a long time, but I didn't know how to put it together. So it was in my head. Basically, it was just supposed to be a bunch of people saying JKL awesome, JKL awesome, JKL awesome. And at the end, it was going to go awesome. You're going to play it? You have
Let me
it?
ask you a question though.
Well, if it's on your page, I think I can play it. Let's see.
Did you by chance think about that when you were sending out these boxes to everybody that you were going to record that JKL?
No, absolutely not. That
I thought you
ended up. No, I did. Listen, if I could have thought that far ahead,
I thought you did. I said, man, he's genius.
It was just a matter because when I was thinking of the idea of catching people saying my name, because I was watching probably your stream and you guys said JKL awesome, and I was thinking, how cool would it be to have a bunch of different channels saying my name in my intro? And then I thought, well, I have a bunch of videos with you guys saying my name because everyone who got a box opened it and said my name. So I was like, oh, let me just go to those videos.
You know what? I've got one thing to say about JKL is awesome in new intro.
Yeah, boy.
Y'all are so funny. Y'all ain't right, man.
I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Let's see if this will work.
You're on the screen.
Oh,
hold on.
oh, you do have it. Yeah. That's actually the old one. I updated it just a little bit.
No. Hold on.
Move it over. Move it over.
No. Give me a second. Give me a second to adjust. I gotta make some adjustments. So take me off the screen.
And then,
Chris, what do you have going on? What you got going on?
Take me off the screen. Let me work on that.
Other than that awesome little clip right there, mind you, by the way, that was a fan that sent that to me last night.
Yeah, I got it too.
To everybody. Zach,
I got the joke too.
Zach, did Zach send it to you as well?
Yeah.
That was hilarious when he sent it to me. I was laughing my butt off for a while. But the biggest thing, I mean, it's normal, same videos, stuff like that. Wayne and I will be on next Thursday, next Friday, and then after that one, we are going to have Tech Butt After Dark. Now this week, I think Jake and I decided we're going to start doing these weird things like every other week because it's just it starts to get to people. Oh wait, hold on, we got it.
Let's pull that up there real quick. We don't have the sound with it though.
No sound.
Yeah, we're missing the sound with it.
What am I doing wrong on that? Come on, serious? No sound on that one?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying right after to what is it next week?
Here, actually, hold on. I will get I can actually pull it up. I'm gonna bring it up on here.
Actually, if you have it,
it's not on YouTube.
Hold on. Now that we're talking about
your Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Save it off your Instagram to your drive, and then load it to StreamYard in the video.
You got it.
In your
Never
clips.
mind. I got it right there. You're right. You are right. Because now I can do that.
Well,
Do that.
that new version they just put in there.
Hold
I'm
on.
trying to find
And
it.
then I can do we can turn that off, and then I'll go over here to short video.
Yeah.
I'll load that guy.
Yeah.
When did you send that?
Yeah.
I don't know, a while ago. But that's the old version of it. I only changed two things. The beginning, I showed Brooklyn instead of Funko Man.
I got it.
I just switched around some of the people.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
All the way from Brooklyn in New York.
A jet flying.
JKL. JKL.
Wheeling dealing.
JKL.
Kiss stealing.
JKL.
Trailblazing.
JKL.
Highbrow raising.
AKL.
Jabroni beat.
JKL.
Pie eating.
JKL.
Hard stopping.
JQ.
Elbow dropping.
JKL.
Son of a gun.
JKL.
People's champ.
JKL.
Awesome.
Oh,
I love it.
Wow.
fire.
There was a couple people. There was a
Wow.
couple people in there I
Thank you.
recognized.
That's awesome. Man.
Fire.
That was
And
awesome.
See, JB,
JB,
the reason I asked, because I hit him on Instagram. I was like, did you ever open the box I gave you?
It's
Because
right
remember, I
here.
said-
Should we open it now?
And he was like, nah, I didn't open it. You want to open it on camera? And I was like, no, you don't have to. I was just asking because I was doing the video. Because I wanted to put
Can
it
I
in
cut
there.
my video now?
You cut your video now.
Can
We'll
I
give
cut
you the
my
full
video
screen.
now?
But see, I got a good JKL also from JB last week where he did it. So
he wants to promo.
I got
hold
a
on.
good promo.
I got this unboxing that I'm gonna do here real quick.
Hey, Jimmy, who'd you get that unboxing from?
Oh my goodness. You ready for this? This is how old it is. It's still wrapped.
It was from Christmas. I sent it in November. He got it like the end of November. And here we are in February. He ain't even opened it yet.
there's a letter. All right, you ready? Greetings, fellow content creator. Congrats on getting one of the 12 boxes of Popmas. You have received box number 7 of 12. May this box find you well and in good spirits. This is a small gift to show my appreciation for your channel. I hope you enjoy it. And more importantly, if you don't already have it, keep making awesome content. Your YouTube friend, ready? JKL!
He said, I'm getting in it. I'm going to get in that intro somehow.
JKL awesome. Ooh, I like this. What are these? What are these?
There's an extra gift in there. There you go. Yeah.
Damn.
I don't believe he ain't even opened it yet. Because I really didn't care if you opened it on camera, but damn, you could at least open it. Like,
I never opened it. There it is. I want to open it with you. We're never together except on this show. I keep forgetting.
I don't even remember what pop it is because everybody opened theirs. I don't remember which one is yours.
Ooh.
Which one is that?
I'm keeping him.
Oh, you got James Brown. Okay.
I am keeping James Brown.
That's only if you can do the James Brown dance on camera.
Me and James Brown are from the same city.
Oh, man, that is awesome.
Oh, cool.
Thank you so much. That is so cool.
No problem, man.
James Brown.
I
Woo!
don't believe,
Get my dance going.
3 months later.
My soft shoe going.
Graphic of 3 months later.
3
Years later.
months later.
An eternity later.
Thank you so much.
God, no problem, man. Give you a high five, JB.
That was fun, dude.
Oh, there you
Other
go,
way.
there.
Chris,
Yeah,
the-
there you go.
But I do have to, because I was teasing him earlier, and I'm going to bring him back up. I am going to be doing my 1,000th subscriber giveaway next week on Tech But After Dark, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I have, to be honest with you, 1,000% honest with you guys, I have not even thought about how I'm giving them away yet. But in one of these upcoming videos this week, you're going to know. So, or I'm just not going to tell you until Friday. I don't know. You're going to have to watch the
Wait
videos.
till Friday. That's right.
You have to watch
It's a
the
Friday.
this week and find out if there's information in there on it or if there's not. But somebody, and I'm only giving away 3 items. This is going to be the top one, and I'm still working on 2 other items. But this right here, somebody is going to get, which is the Superman Walt Disney Pop with Castle that I know everybody has been
Yeah,
trying to find.
Just send it to me. Why are we even playing these games?
I got lucky enough to get 2 of them recently gifted to me.
Nice.
So I figured I'm going to give one away.
Awesome.
that was really nice of you. I know that that's a highly sought after item right now. And they didn't even know that they were coming to Florida, by the way. I think everybody thought they were just going to California, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, guys, as always, y'all know I truly appreciate y'all coming in and educating me on my tainted theories that I have about Iron Man coming back and maybe saving the day. But the links to these channels will be down in the description below, so make sure that you go check these guys out. And like I said, you have to be living under a rock if you're not subscribed to the channels already. Guys, I truly appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out.
Hit the burger time down bottom. Don't forget to hit them perks.
And if you are not already subscribed to these channels, this is the universe telling you that this is the time to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're there, don't forget to turn on that bell notification. None of us really know why that bell notification is there, but you should definitely have it turned on for all the latest and greatest videos coming to you on the tube.